Well, hello there, and thank you for joining me. I'm Linda V. Taylor, and this is The Best of Both Worlds. Today I'm working on a very outstanding quilt. My friend Gail did this one, and I call it Color Wheel. It might have another name, but it was so fun to work on, and I used variegated thread, and I think you're going to absolutely love it. Both computerized designs and freehand, so let's get started. I love this quilt so much, and I knew that the areas around the outside of the wheel were going to be very important, and I wanted to make them absolutely outstanding. So here are the patterns that I chose. This is one of my Indian feathers, and it's a triangle, and of course it comes in a square as well. But these ferns were so amazing and easy to fill in this area, which you'll see me do freehand later, where I needed to complete the circle. And this little pattern is simply one that I found that I loved, and I put it together so that it was on both sides, just kind of completed that feathery look. And then I just use curls. It's actually an overall pattern, but I just used that for the border, and of course it went on the sides as well. But as you can see from the picture how outstanding this looks, and using that variegated thread just brought it to life and framed the color wheel so nicely. Here is kind of a view of the entire quilt. I just told you about this outside that went all the way around, and I did stabilize on the inside. These patterns around here and here, very simple patterns, but I found these on the pattern cloud, and they are point-to-point patterns, so beginning and ending here, so you can just do them continuously all the way around. And I would do those as far as I could go, and then roll and do some more. And so it was really fun, and filling all of these in the diamond shapes, so fun. The middle part, I love this pattern. This is one of my patterns. But I didn't need the square, so I also had the circle. Let's just go ahead and look at that circle. Very intricate. These are fancy feathers that I've done. And then the center of this, I love it because where this zigzaggy design is, which is alternated, makes the negative space stand out. And boy, did that really show up on the quilt. It's a beautiful, beautiful pattern. Gives it a little bit more of the geometric look, and then the feathers just set that off. Now, around the outside, in this area of the quilt, you can see there are some diamonds again. This was really fun. In the diamonds around the outside, I had so much of the same, I don't know, it's probably something wrong with me somewhere, but I like to vary things. I don't like to do them the same, even if they look like they should have the same pattern in them. But I counted the diamonds, and they were even. So as you can see, here's this one on the opposite. Here's this one, here's this one. These are all I used for Grandma's gardens on the diamond Grandma gardens. So I did these opposite on all of these, and oh man, it is so outstanding. So beautiful, and it gives it the variance so that your eyes can just go from one to the next and you're just like, can't get enough of it. So those diamond shapes were pretty amazing to put in those areas. So this will just go from one to the next and continue around the quilt. You always want to watch it. You don't want to walk away because you never know if something's, just a little off. You want to be able to fix it so you don't have to unpick. See, there it goes right into the next one. That's awesome. Love these point-to-point patterns. They're really necessary in your arsenal of quilting. Of course, you could do it freehand, but and it does take a while to get them all set exactly where they should be. But boy, is it worth the time. Look at that. This is a little bit simpler design than some of the other blocks that I'm putting on here with feathers and fancy things, but I think we need that geometric design interspersed with some of our fancier designs. This is a little fancier design that's going in these larger diamond shapes. Who isn't fascinated just to sit and watch? This is amazing. Especially, as we're getting older, it's really wonderful. I shouldn't say we are getting older, because I'm probably the only one. But I just don't want to quit quilting. Love that variegated thread. There we go. So I'm doing this part around the circle in the middle freehand, and on this pinwheel I want to come in as close as I can to the side over here and around, leaving space because I have to come out, go in and come back out. And my purpose is, when you're doing freehand, try to make them all look alike. They're not going to be perfect, but they look pretty good. And then as I come out right here, I'm going to come down and I'll just draw this on this one so you can see. I have a seam right here. And so I want to kind of encircle that seam. Then I will come up in this, kind of follow this seam up like this, make a nice curl here, and then come up about an inch from the top, and then over and back in. Yeah, like that. So I'm in constant speed. You can certainly do that, of course, in regulated. So I'm gonna just say go, and here we are. Leaving space at the bottom to come back out, right there, and then teardrop here, come in, circle, top, and then back in. And then again, lots of concentration. It's good for me, right? Down, make a nice teardrop, circle, up, and back down. Around. Nice teardrop, little curl, up and back down. So it's just a repetitive thing. Just moving in even speed if possible, and I am finished. So let's take a look at those. They look great. Just enough in those areas of the quilting. Now I just have one other area that I need to fill in with freehand, and I will show you how I'm going to do that with a fern. There we go. I just have to go down to the middle of this, right there. So that area is all filled in. It looks like it was supposed to be there, and it was. Thank you for sticking with me. This was quite a quilt, and in reality, it took me about 3 days to figure out everything that I was going to do on it and to get it done properly with all the stabilizing, but it turned out so beautifully. I also wanted to mention the quilt that's behind me. It's one of the ones that I did early in my quilting career in the 90s, 1990s, I know. But it was one of my first experiments with trapunto, and I even dyed the batting. I dyed the batting red. It was a cotton batting, and so it was an interesting experiment, but it was pieced by Alice Wilhoit, and still one of my most favorite quilts, using patterns from Harry Wallner's collection, which are on the pattern cloud. So I enjoyed our time together today. Please join me next time. Thanks for watching.